What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about a really interesting update on Cold War Year 2, the next DLC map, and the report about upcoming remasters. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure you have notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War Year 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and any other future Call of Duty as well. As you guys may have missed, Treyarch went ahead and tweeted over to Bnox that Perseus has been busy. Bit of a teaser as to what the storyline is like on Rebirth Reinforced. Made a full video last night which goes in depth with the Black Ops storyline implications of the new Reloaded update on Rebirth Island, and we also talked about all the Easter eggs, events, and challenges that are now available to us with the recent patch. Now, Treyarch also tweeted today that we have a new Black Ops Cold War playlist update providing an extension to the WMD 24/7 playlist, thank God. We have the Snipers Only Mosh Pit added, 3v3 Gunfight Snipers Only for those out there that love sniping. Gunfight Tournament is continuing, we have 12v12 Mosh Pits, Face Off 6v6, and even Nuketown 24/7, of course. But you guys are probably wondering, what happened to Infected, right? I saw a couple of comments and tweets sent towards me asking me about that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why Infected got removed. It's kind of strange considering WMD got added to Infected as well, and now we just can't really try that out. I don't think you can even play Infected in custom games either, so maybe in the next week we'll get the return of that mode, and if anything, might as well throw Infected into the Party Games playlist, which I think would work out pretty well. Now, we also have a report from different hackers and scoopers that all of the Cold War Year 2 bundles have been added into Warzone, so those out there on PC that can force load content or take a sneak peek at content a little bit early, they're the ones claiming that this content is also being labeled as Season 2 DLC, so that doesn't necessarily confirm everything has to release for what's left in Season 2, like a good, 30 days or whatnot, but that's telling. I mean, they're closer to release than they were before, and now that they've been added to Warzone, that means Raven finally got all of that ported over for Battle Royale, and everything could release smoothly without any problems, but maybe because it's labeled Season 2, that does mean everything that we know about for Year 2 so far is coming in the next 2-3 weeks. And don't worry though, there's of course a lot more content that was not found by hackers yet that is going to end up probably releasing as a patch in Season 3 or whatnot, so stay tuned for that. But aside from that news, and also speaking of Warzone, we do have the Vargo Mastercraft, the Pharaoh Fury, which still does not work in Warzone to this day. I still cannot believe that. It's been over a month, and people out there that spent money on that bundle won't be able to use it in its entirety within Warzone. You obviously can in Cold War multiplayer or zombies, but upon attempting to take the Vargo Mastercraft into Warzone, it'll give you this blueprint instead. It didn't give you this before the recent Reloaded update, so this is definitely new, and this also isn't a Vargo blueprint that is at all in Cold War or Warzone either, so we're like, wait, what is this? And we know sometimes there are some blueprints and Mastercrafts that look a bit weird when translated over to Warzone, but this is a different camo entirely, a whole different skin, and it doesn't have tracers. So it looks like this is our first look at an upcoming Vargo 52 blueprint that won't be anything too special. It does look cool with how white it is. We have the rose on there. So I'm assuming this will probably be a part of another bundle in the future that just happens to have a Vargo blueprint in there. It likely won't be a new bundle that just focuses on the Vargo, or else this is probably a blueprint that would have had tracers or something, but it also doesn't do the inspect animation as the Pharaoh Fluid is supposed to do. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but let me know how you're feeling about this Vargo blueprint down below in the comments. We also have a report from hacker Alix, who said, following yesterday's post, I got the confirmation that Jungle is indeed not finished yet and still in development. How it ended up in the final game, I have no idea, but it will come soon, probably for Season 3, maybe even later. Now, Alix got several tweets taken down showing gameplay screenshots of Jungle being played over in Cold War. Can't show you them on screen for obvious reasons, but they exist. The map looks beautiful. I mean, it looks really rich. The colors look amazing. The green really pops out, and it's the best iteration of Jungle to date, at least in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to when Jungle does release. It definitely does fit, at least from my understanding, the Cold War weaponry, the kill streak system, so I'm really excited for when that does end up coming out. And obviously I made several videos over the last few weeks talking about other multiplayer maps that seem to be on deck ready to go and could also drop at some point during Year 2. Now I'm also assuming that because they don't want to take the attention away from Vanguard and Warzone with Season 2 Reloaded, anything coming to Cold War during Season 2 will probably be dropped, maybe starting on Monday. I mean, tonight's Thursday, so we could even get something tomorrow. You never know. If that's the case, I'll of course be covering all of that in videos, and if it's a lot of content that drops, I won't do a podcast. We'll do a gameplay stream with open lobbies instead, but I'll keep you guys posted with whatever's going on here in Black Ops Cold War. Now, the usual suspects also went ahead and posted the unlocked challenges for the Scythe melee weapon coming at some point, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. The multiplayer unlock challenge is using a melee, get 2 kills while Ninja or Dead Silence are active in 15 different completed matches. Do not forget, it's 15 different completed matches. It's not like Modern Warfare where you can back out of the games and the progress will stick. I do like the way that works, but Cold War just never went down that path. That's not a bad one, but the Zombies unlock challenge is to get 200 kills while insta-kill is active. Don't think you have to use a specific weapon for that. It could just be anything. So that's not too bad. My question for you guys is, if somebody out there tonight goes ahead and attempts those challenges, will the weapon unlock early, similar to how the Vargo did when somebody out there did the unlock challenge for that in Modern Warfare multiplayer? So it's worth trying the challenges that I just mentioned in Cold War, and also maybe trying the multiplayer one in Modern Warfare to see if the Scythe, for whatever reason, just auto unlocks. It very well could be the case. Let me know if that works for you down below in the comments. I'll keep you guys posted in future videos if somebody magically unlocks it early, but hey, you never know. It happened with the Vargo, could happen again with other weapons in Cold War as well. Now keep in mind, whenever the Scythe comes out, that will be, or at least presumably will be, the same day the Ravenov bundle also does as well, since there is a Scythe blueprint inside of the Ravenov bundle. Also seeing reports that with the latest Warzone updates, Ravenov is viewable as a selectable operator in the menu itself. So the fact that Ravenov works in Warzone has me thinking that he's also just around the corner from coming out, and might even be the first bundle to come out of the batch that we know exist for Year 2 cosmetics. So we'll see what happens with that bundle at some point soon, but definitely hoping for something any day now, because obviously for those out there that care more about multiplayer zombies, Season 2 Reloaded didn't really release anything for anybody. This update that dropped last night was obviously just centered around Rebirth Island, of course. And I also put out this joke earlier on Twitter: new Cold War weapon unlock challenge, get a nuke and your first life in 15 different completed matches. And that's the thing, right? I think if there's a weapon like the Tech 9 or the nail gun, things that are really frustrating to go up against, they should have a hard challenge like that. And not anything as severe as getting a nuke, but you guys get what I'm doing. I think to have a challenge like that be so AIDS, but to then unlock a really powerful weapon, it might piss off the people out there that can't unlock it because the challenge is too hard, but then it would at least bring down the amount of people using that weapon, because goddamn, there are some DLC weapons in every COD that are just too good to even be in the game and require quite a bit of nerfs. But let me know what you're thinking about that nuke challenge down below in the comments. Just imagine if one day we get something as crazy as that, because I mean, the new SMG that released in Vanguard the other day, the challenge for it in Zombies was ridiculous. It was like, get a couple hundred frozen kills or something, and I'm like, how long does that take to do? How many people out there actually play Vanguard Zombies to get that? They were better off just doing it in MP, so just imagine if that happens one day. Now we also have a major report from Ralph's Valve, an individual who's been claiming lots of early scoops about the second Modern Warfare game. He said, and I quote, Activision are reportedly considering releasing remastered Call of Duty titles repurposed for newer consoles to fill out the empty space between premium Call of Duty titles. World at War, Call of Duty 1 and 2, and backwards compatibility for COD 4 Modern Warfare Remaster are currently what's in conversation. Everything else was described by an associate as complicated. So first off, what have I been saying for the past couple of months now, right? I'm like, look, if we don't get a new COD in 2023, that was supposed to be Treyarch's next Black Ops, I'm okay with that if there's something that drops that year that fills the void. And that could be either the free-to-play COD that's rumored featuring building, that could be a standalone Zombies project, that could be, I mean, maybe more Cold War content that'll be a little far away, but maybe that's possible. MW2 Year 2 will also be happening, but what if that game just isn't our cup of tea? What if the game just doesn't do well for some of us and we're just not enjoying it? So I'm just hoping for something to drop that year, and what better to drop than a remastered COD game, whether it's just the remastered multiplayer, whether it's the remastered Zombies. I think the more the merrier, right? But he then followed up by saying, addressing the confusion, Modern Warfare 1 Remastered is supposedly coming to Nintendo Switch, its first introductory into the COD franchise for the console. Now, that's also amazing, considering I talked about the Nintendo Switch a couple of times in the channel, where I'm like, look, I would love to see something as simple as just a mode added to Nintendo Switch, whether it's Dead Ops Arcade, Blackout. I mean, I was hoping for that a couple years ago, but now I wouldn't be surprised to see if like Warzone Mobile got ported to the Switch at some point in the future. But if they do a full COD game, I'm also game for that. I'll cover it, I'll give it a shot. So we'll do a couple of streams with it. I have a Switch myself, so I wouldn't mind doing that. But I loved Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, I really did. Played the living hell out of it when it first came out, obviously way more than Infinite Warfare, while I was also playing BO3 Year 2 alongside all that. I was a busy guy in 2016, 2017, it was crazy. But it's coming to Switch, so I think that's cool. They're finally opening opening up COD to Nintendo again, since I think the last COD to drop on the Wii U was, what was it, Ghost or Black Ops 2, one of those two games, but we haven't had any COD on Nintendo ever since. Now, diving into his first tweet though, World at War, hell yes. I mean, I would love to see a classic Treyarch COD on current gen hardware. Not sure what engine it would be on. Would it be more along the lines of Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, even though that's kind of outdated by now in terms of graphics and design and gameplay? Or will they actually use like the new Cold War engine or even the Modern Warfare engine to remaster a game like that? And the thing is, right, World at War is just such a hidden gem. A lot of people out there really didn't experience that game. It had a crazy cool campaign. The multiplayer was fantastic with some great maps. The vehicles were fun. The weapons were awesome. I mean, and you have the birth of zombies. So I'm wondering if everything will be included in a World at War Remastered. I'm definitely game for it. And I'm also not sure if they have to censor a lot of the campaign considering the conflict going on right now around the world. So we have that. But then Call of Duty 1 and 2, that's interesting because there was a report, I think from Tom Henderson a couple of years ago, claiming that the original 3 Call of Duty games were apparently going to be bundled one day and remastered, since so many people out there did not play those games and they're classics. But there you have it. Those are 3 games right now that are coming to current gen. Now, the fact that an associate said that everything else was described as complicated, I wonder if that's in reference to remastering some other games like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, then we have even Modern Warfare 2, MW3, and the thing is, I understand not doing Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer because we're about to have a new Modern Warfare 2 game coming out. That'd be confusing for their marketing. And MW3 campaign remastered should at least come out, but come on, I mean, Cold War is continuing the classic Black Ops canon. A lot of people out there need to catch up to speed on just how the Black Ops lore works, and they need to actually try some of the Black Ops campaigns for the first time, and World at War is also a part of that. So bring in like a trilogy bundle of at least campaign remasters, World at War, BO1, BO2. Not sure why that's described as complicated, not sure if it's because of the Russian conflict, but that also doesn't make sense because World at War toughly deals with Russia quite a bit, so I'm not sure what that could mean. But I think at least when it comes to the player bases, the original excuse a couple years ago was, oh yeah, we don't want to break the player bases up, but it's like that's already happening now when you have Cold War getting updates, Vanguard getting updates, Warzone, we have another Modern Warfare game coming out soon, Warzone Mobile, COD Mobile. It's like there's enough people to go around to play everything, so if anything, just drop every project possible and there'll definitely be a player base for each one. Definitely isn't a problem. But I think right now Activision's agenda is slowly shifting from, okay, let's focus all on Warzone, let's push as many people as possible from free-to-play Warzone to our premium titles, and encourage them to spend a bunch of money on bundles. That's kind of changing to what looks like, hey, let's drop as much as we can, especially before Microsoft takes over, because then once they take charge, they're going to be making all the money, and they'll be changing things on the fly, more than likely. So they're probably trying to jump ship a little bit and change up their philosophy for COD, which I think can benefit everybody, and I'm excited for that. But I think the original excuse about breaking up the player base with remastered games doesn't really stick anymore and doesn't really seem valid, at least to me. I think the more the merrier. I just think everything could work. It doesn't even matter when they drop some of these projects, no matter when. I mean, look at MW2 Campaign Remastered. If that also came with multiplayer, Warzone had just come out a couple of weeks before that. I think either way, both projects would have still been successful, no matter what. And on top of that, that was MW's DLC season. Everybody was playing everything, so I just don't see the problem with releasing remasters every now and again. But as much as I prefer Black Ops 1 over Black Ops 2, I know that's a hot take, but at least in terms of multiplayer, zombies, we could talk about Black Ops 2 being a little bit better. But the thing is, as much as I prefer BO1, I just know a Black Ops 2 remaster would absolutely break the freaking internet much more than a Modern Warfare 2 remastered would, in terms of campaign and in terms of multiplayer. And then you have the zombies on top of that from BO2. So I think if there's any game that definitely needs to be remastered in its entirety immediately, it's Black Ops 2. If that releases in 2023 to kind of fill that void, then let's do it, hell yeah. But I'm also wondering if this rumor from Ralph also maybe gives us a hint as to what to expect in future years. Treyarch's next premium COD is supposedly dropping in 2024, but what if we start getting COD every other year? And in between those years, that's where these remasters fall in. That could be the case, and we'll just be switching between Treyarch and Infinity Ward every other year. But that would give each dev, what, 3 years to make a game? And there's so many possibilities with that. Giving them more time is bound to create some really memorable and classic experiences on day one. Now, we also have this really interesting update in regards to Rebirth and Blackout Alcatraz. So, as you guys are aware, Rebirth Island in Warzone is a bit of a reskin of Alcatraz portals from Blackout, and I've always been okay with that. I loved Alcatraz in Blackout. I was totally cool with it. You know, I think that allowed them to release Rebirth as soon as they did, which was back during Season 1 of Cold War. If they would have had to recreate the whole island and change up things quite a bit. Who knows when that map would have actually released, so I'm cool with it. But in a recent blog post, it does say, before Perseus and Cold War story, or technically, long after it was over in canon, Treyarch introduced the original island prison with Mob of the Dead, officially released in Black Ops 2. So this is the first time anybody's acknowledged Blackout in quite some time. I know when Fireteam Elimination came out, they acknowledged it as a bit of a spiritual successor to Blackout, so it's kind of like a Blackout 2, but this is the first time they said, yeah, we have a Warzone map that is based off of Blackout Alcatraz. So I'm glad they did that, and that's the thing. I don't know when this would fit in at all, but I would love to see Treyarch take on a Battle Royale again in the future, because with crossplay, with a free-to-play element, with a bigger dev team, with more time, with XYZ that they didn't have during Blackout 1, they can make a kick-ass Battle Royale. At least their own Warzone map with their own sets of Easter eggs and quests and character missions and XYZ. I would love to see them do that again, because I had some of my best memories in gaming playing Blackout. I really did, and playing Fireteam every now and again really just gets me back in that vibe of like, wow, I just love the way this plays. That Battle Royale element mixed with something that's actually fun to do. In this case, in the gameplay, it's Fireteam Dirty Bomb. I love having an objective while also playing against other enemies as if it was a Battle Royale. Absolutely love that feeling, and maybe the fact that Blackout was finally mentioned recently could give us a hint that maybe we'll end up seeing the Ural Mountains one day, or Blackout 2, or something along those lines when they actually have time to make it. And now that Treyarch's next game is delayed to 2024, not only do they have enough time to bring out a kick-ass campaign, a new multiplayer, a badass zombies iteration, but maybe, and just maybe, another Warzone integration of sorts with their own Battle Royale map, or even a Fireteam-like mode in that game's multiplayer that has more than Fireteam offered here in Cold War. You never know. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on our new update in Cold War Year 2? What are your thoughts on Jungle being the next DLC map? And also, how are you feeling about the reports for upcoming remastered Call of Duty titles? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.